All right, good morning, everybody. Appreciate you being on, and just wrapped up opportunity number 14 for us. Thought our guys brought great energy today. Obviously, you have a chance to work through a lot of days here, especially here at the end, where you guys are going hard, and just love the effort and the toughness they showed today, and being able to have a really productive practice and opportunity to get better. So appreciate their work, and got one more opportunity here on Saturday, and excited about the way our team is building itself each and every day, building themselves individually in their position work and their technique and their fundamentals, and then building our offense, defense, and our special teams. So looking forward to a strong finish on Saturday. Questions?
As far as how you guys have built throughout the spring, let's start with quarterbacks. What have you seen in terms of progression from those guys? What's better about each of them, through 14 practices than was when they got started?
Yeah, I think that's obvious is just the growth that you see in learning the system and being able to, even to grow, from a fundamental perspective, and just kind of working through the guys and looking at Jack and the way he's been able to grow and his confidence and ability to make the throws he needs to make. I think the big thing is, decision making in terms of just the speed of that. To me, I've seen that increase in accuracy and throwing with confidence, and with Connor as well, same thing, being here new and work ethic and all the things that he brings, to our team, and even just being able to be more comfortable with his teammates and being able to be with a new group of guys, and most of these guys here are part of our leadership council, and give them a chance to show them and grow them as leaders and what that looks like and how we want and the expectations for that position. And so I think those to me are key things, to be able to throw the ball accurately and to throw it with decisiveness, and then you think about Donovan, his growth and development, and being able to maximize his skill set to be able to help this team in every way possible. To me, that's really the key for him, and as well as all the guys that to me are competing at that spot and allowing us to be able to get better. But it's obviously a critical position. Everybody knows that, and their ability to grow and to develop and to be able to come together as a football team is a big part of this, and they got to lead that group. They got to not only lead themselves, they have to lead that room, and they got to be able to put the team on their back, and that takes a lot of time, and it takes preparation, and these next several months of the summer are going to be critical in their growth as well. So I appreciate how hard they've worked, and we're able to be able to find the best guy that ends up being the one that we think is prepared to lead our team. Yeah, very game-like situations on Saturday, and really to be able to create the most realistic situations possible, and still be able to allow us to move forward. I think when you ask the questions about who stuck out, I think Jalen Lucas to me is one that every scrimmage we've had continues to flash more and more. I think that's become very obvious. I think also Sean Shivers, another one that continues to just show who he is. I think of our receivers, Cam Camper's another one that just every time we take the field, it just seems like he just gets better and better, shows up. Emery Simmons, another one. Those are all new guys, obviously, that we have here. A.J. Barner's not new, but, is stepping in that role of being the lead guy in that room, and also the lead guy at that position in terms of production and being able for him to take the next step. I see a lot out of him for that, which I've really been encouraged by. I think our quarterbacks have played well in those scrimmages also, because obviously they're the ones that have to, and they got to be able to do a great job. And then up front, obviously trying to create depth at that position more so than anything, to be able to have guys we can count on to be able to play at a high level consistently, physically run the football, protect the quarterback, throw the football down the field, and those are the ones that stick out on offense. Defensively, J.H. Tevis is one that even today continues to make plays, consistent, strong leader. Nick James, another new guy up front. a lot of twitch. Really impressed with him as a true freshman right out of high school. I see him making more plays all the time. James Mond's another one, continues to grow and develop with his each time we take the field and in those scrimmages as well. Jay Will has been awesome the entire, and guys like C4. I mean, just they've taken their play and their leadership to another level. Ace, another one. Aaron Casey, a guy that really have really put a lot on him to step up, and he's doing that right now. Been really encouraged by that, and I just know, and there's a whole bunch of guys. Fitzy, Brian Fitzgerald, just another guy that's so dependable. Noah Pierce probably been the MVP of the defense, playing him in different spots. Very, very productive this spring. Really excited about his development and the guys there. So really encouraged by the group and how hard they're practicing. Like I said, when you have those goes on Saturdays, those are the more game-like situations. We have not done the same number of reps we have in the past. Just kind of an overall change in philosophy of how we're going to approach spring and how we're going to emphasize certain things rather than others. And so to me, that's this weekend will be a reflection of that. More game-like situations, yes, but the length of it won't be as it's been in the past. Just trying to be doing a great job of keeping our guys sharp, improving, and healthy.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm okay. You mentioned the O-line a little bit. Just curious about if any guys there kind of caught your eye, maybe any young players, guys maybe a red shirt and haven't seen a lot of game time, have kind of maybe forced their way into possible playing time this year.
Yeah, I would say Khalil Benson's a guy that has gotten lots of reps. Has continued to grow, and as he's, obviously had the major setback when he got here and was injured right away, but he's a guy that we expect to step up, and thought this has been a really important spring for him to take that next step as well, and I think that's been a big thing. Even Zach Carpenter, who played last year, but wasn't a full-time starter, just changed his body this offseason, did a tremendous job with that, and need that growth to continue, and he's doing a great job, and I just feel like that, even a guy like Vinny is a guy that, Fia Cable, that we're counting on to be able to give us, some really solid depth in the interior of our offensive line, and even the guys in that young group. Josh Sale is another one that continues to grow and develop and get a lot of quality reps, and I like the way he's progressing. That needs to continue, and so I just feel like that our guys there are really, really critical to what we're trying to do and how we're developing our football team. The obvious guys of Michael Koenig, I still think he's gotten better this spring, and just seeing a higher level of just intensity, toughness, and fighting that we're trying to get out of that whole group, and the leaders of that group, Matt Bedford and just Luke Haggard's a guy that's really stepped up in his leadership, even though he's a quiet guy, but just understanding that role and what it demands and what it needs. And so, obviously their play is going to be critical, and they're working extremely hard. Really proud of that group. And, Bedford's probably grown the most as a leader and grown the most in terms of just trying to elevate his play and his production and the way he practices. So as a collective group, we've been on those guys, and they've responded, and I'm excited for them.
Hey, Coach, good to see you again. We talked to Jalen Williams on Tuesday, and he mentioned that having that open spot in the defensive backfield has really increased the competition in practice. What has that been like to see, and is there anyone specific that you can see take that next step forward as having a consistent role in the defensive backfield?
Yeah, I think there's several young guys that have stuck out to me. Lim, Watley is a guy that, had missed some time, got injured. I haven't seen a lot of him in the past, and I've really been encouraged by the way he's practiced and recovered from, a season-ending injury last year, and has good burst, has good size, is a really physical tackler. And Larry Smith, same thing, really showing, he's a guy that came here. I think the COVID year was tough on him, just in terms of even he wasn't here, but just the physical development that he would need during that time period kind of hurt him and his growth and just body mass. And so we're finally seeing that kick in. So I feel like he has a chance. I think Bryson Bond's another one, lost him last season, and he's had a really good spring. The thing I love about Noah is just his flexibility. He can play so many positions, husky, safety, corner. We all know about him, but he's even elevated his play. Brian Fitzgerald, same thing, multiple position guy that is really, really going to be critical to us being able to be a great football team defensively. And John Haynes, he's not a guy that you've got to see hardly at all last year because he was injured when he got into fall camp, and one of our most gifted athletes on the entire team, and had the Achilles issue last year and never really got to where he was able to play, so we ended up redshirting him, and now he's back. And so he's another guy that to me adds a lot of depth. We all know Monster is a special player, and Taiwan's a special player, Jay Will. So those guys have obviously established themselves. Their leadership has been really strong. Even Dylan McCall, another guy that he's battled some things injury-wise, but he's now getting healthier, and we're seeing flashes of who I believe he can be. And those guys are all going to be special teams guys for us that we're going to need. But yeah, there's a lot of names I've thrown out there, and as I already mentioned, James Mons is a guy that's getting a lot of chances to play, and I'm encouraged by those guys and by their growth and by their ability to come in here this spring and get a lot of good reps and get better. So I really do feel like that it is a lot of competition, for that open spot that we have, and to be able to see who it's going to be. It's going to have to probably go all the way through fall camp, and then we'll see who those guys are. We want to play a lot of guys on this defense and keep us fresh and keep our guys where they can play at a high level for 60 minutes.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Coach Randolph said something the last time we talked about whistling while you work and having more fun playing the game while working hard. Have you seen that this team is enjoying the process more of building and getting ready for the season?
And that's been something that I've always emphasized, because you better have fun, but I get it, and so there's a tough, hard-nosed part to this game that's inevitable. It's what it demands. That's why we talk about accountability, toughness, and love as the three pillars of our program. But man, you play this game when you're a kid because you love it and it's fun and you enjoy playing the game. And so we want to work our tails off, be physical, mean, and nasty, but enjoy who we're doing it with. And to me, that's really the key. And we even talked about today about the great teams are connected teams. And that's been a big emphasis for us this whole, through spring. It'll be into the off season of guys getting connected. We're just coming out of the pandemic where everybody was isolated, couldn't do team activities, couldn't do anything together over the summer for 2 straight years of team building things that I think really help us make us who we are. And to me, that's part of just having fun, play hard and have a ton of fun, celebrate with each other when you make big plays. As if if it feels like a job to you, then you're not going to be your best. You're clocking in, clocking out. That's not the way I want it to be. And so I want our guys to play hard, have a ton of fun, and you do that when you're around guys you love, you care about, you enjoy being around, and you're going to sharpen each other. You're going to hold each other accountable to those high standards. And so Coach does a great job of pushing his guys. They work extremely hard, and we want to have fun. But winning's fun. And so you got to work hard to be able to create that mindset, to be able to be mentally and physically tough so you can have those chances to win football games and enjoy doing this together with your brothers.
On those 3.5 months from the last day of spring to the first day of fall camp are really important too as a group for these kids to get better. With so many new faces around and such, how do you feel about the comfort level of your leadership amongst the players to really run good summer operations for you guys?
Yeah, and I feel good. I tell you, and you're right. You nailed it. It's a really critical 3-month period, and the month of May, we talk about May matters. It's a discretionary month for the whole country, but it's work time. You just have to do it sometimes on your own. Sometimes the kids will come back here together with the guidance of our strength staff and the way you can do it within the rules. But yeah, so what we've done is we grew the size of our leadership council by design, have several guys on that leadership council that are new to our program, even though that's not always the case. But we have several new guys, especially the older ones, and wanted to get some true freshmen in there as well to be able to have a good balance of mixture, but to train them and show them how we want them to lead over the summer. And now they have passed a rule. It's not officially passed, but I believe it will be passed by the time we get to summer. We can actually spend a little more time with our guys over the summer. We'll do that mostly in June. So, but to your point, These next months are huge. We do have a lot of strong leadership on our team. A lot of guys have been here a long time on both sides of the ball, especially on defense. And the guys like C4 and Monster and Taiwan and Jay Will, those guys James Head, same thing, kind of come to mind. They've been here for a long time. And so, Bedford's been here a long time. Jack Tuttle's one of our strong leaders. And I tell you what, Sean Shiver's the guy who just got here, man, just a really strong leader, does everything the right way, works hard. So those guys have to lead their position groups during the summer, without question, and making sure guys are doing little things the right way. Obviously, when they're here in June and July, it's all mandatory. But to me, May is probably the critical one because that's when they have a little bit of time. But we're even doing some things within that period, within the rules, to be able to maximize our players. But it's all going to be player-led, and those guys are buying into that because they understand what they want to create for 2022. And that's where, their leadership, and as we talked today, the great teams are player-led. They're also connected, and they also communicate. So that player-led piece is going to be huge in May, June, and July.
Jim and Mike.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
Good, sir. With the new OC coming in, or actually both coordinators, but a lot of new faces, does it make it a little easier having a new OC with all those new faces? Because everyone's having to learn. I'm sure there's not everything been changed, but whether it's new jargon, new language, whatever it is, everybody's kind of on the same page. Has that made it easier in that regard? And talk about the wide receiver room as a whole. I know you mentioned Cam, but how has that been as a whole? How are they coming?
Yeah, I think to your first question, I think, when you got everybody, we got some new coaches on that side of football. We got some new players on that side of football. We got some new things we're doing offensively, new coordinator. And so, so everybody's kind of starts at the same place, so it kind of creates a whole new, hey, everybody's in the same starting point, and you just build from there. So I think that allows everybody to kind of feel that, hey, I got just equal opportunities as anybody else to be able to compete and fight for a spot. And I think that just helps everybody kind of come together to learn everything and go execute together. And then as far as the receiver room, I mentioned those guys that already that have stuck out to me, but there's several guys. I mean, Dave Baker, I think to me, he's had by far his most productive time since he's been here. Getting him healthy has kind of been the issue in the past, and staying healthy. And so that's something that we're seeing more of, which is great. Malachi Holt Bennett's another guy that we have high expectations for. Javon Swinton, another one. So guys that have been here, Marquez, Smith is making plays, has really good ball skills, and feel really excited about his growth at that position. So to me, and then obviously DJ Matthews working his tail off to get back, from his injury, and has done everything the right way and is really leading. You see him out there with a headset on and coaching the guys and doing everything he can do to get them right. So as a collective group, I really think there's a high ceiling for them. A lot of new faces, a lot of new guys, young guys step up, have chances to be able to make plays, and they got to make them. We got to be able to stretch the field and got some added speed. Emory Simmons can really run, and that's really something we really wanted to be able to add to that room, was some guys that can, really run vertically. And obviously, we got several guys that can in that room. Even Cam Camper he's a long guy and does have good twitch, but he can run as well. So those to me, guys that have to learn the system, learn the culture, and then, they seem to be pretty, because they fit with us, they fit with who we are, and they understand the environment that we've created here, and they bought into that. So, that's a room that's going to be very important, and they need to be productive, and a lot of new faces and a lot of guys to replace. So Coach Henry's already doing a great job with them. He obviously brings a tremendous amount of experience at Wealth. They have a ton of respect for him, and he has a great communication skills. So once again, excited about what we can become and what we're building in the receiver room.
There was a lot of talk from Walt and the players about the concept of open grass, which I interpret to be, more read and react rather than, running pre-scripted plays. Mm-hmm. How important was that to you as you look to make changes in the offense, and what is your impression of what you've seen in that regard this spring?
Yeah, to me, it's just the philosophical change you make. in a certain area. And to me, you're just trying to maximize, what defenses give you and not have, like you said, prescribed, routes per se. And they've always had them, read them to a certain degree, but it's definitely expanded in that regard. And it's kind of the way I like calling the defense, and it's where our defense is built as well. So it's just kind of a philosophy of saying, because I like being able to have concepts, and you teach concepts, and you're able to adapt to different things. And like you have one call that has several prongs to it. We do that defensively, and based on what the offense does, that's how we adjust defensively. Well, it's really no different to the way we're building it in a passing game, to be able to have, single calls and certain things that work and maneuver and change based on what evolves defensively as the play unfolds. So, and that takes time, to be able to read that with the receivers and the quarterback. So to me, that's just kind of part of, what we want to be able to do. And I really like it. I really think it's, it's a strong fit with who we have here and the guys we can recruit here and the guys we have on our team right now. And so I just think that it's like anything else, you got to be able to, the magic is in the belief of what you're doing and the execution of what you do. And so to me, that's what it's really all about. Have a great day, Elio.